our girl Patrice Jordan here. She was inspired by a mix of different Jehovah's Witness girls that I've grown up with throughout the years, and also just a mix of the different stories I've heard from different witness girls throughout the years, and just kind of just hearing about just how they had to deal with a lot of the things that Patrice has to deal with, and kind of just putting it all together in this story to be able to not only tell Patrice's story, but to tell all those stories out there who haven't necessarily had their story heard. So Varius. What's good, y'all? Welcome to the Cult Language Book Club. This is your host, your boy, author, Rome Jones of the book Cult Language. And this week on the book club, man, I wanted to get into the character breakdowns. And I want to get into the characters and kind of dive deep into understanding who each character is of the main Cult Language 5. But before we jump into that, I do want to remind everybody, please like and subscribe and support your boy on all platforms, and it is much appreciated. All right, so go ahead and make sure you like, subscribe. Go ahead and do that real quick. Appreciate it. All right, so when it comes to our first character breakdown, I'm excited for this one because it is the main character, our girl Patrice Jordan here. Patrice starts out in the book at the age of 15, but her birthday comes up later on in the book. Not going to give away too much of a spoiler around that, but she does turn 16 throughout the majority of the book there. Patrice is your very typical teenage girl, right? Like she's a little boy crazy. She's a little naive. She's a little curious, but for the most part, she's a pretty good kid. Now, her parents are Darian Jordan, who is an elder within the Valley South congregation. Her stepmother is Regina Jordan. Her biological mother abandoned her early on, and we kind of dive a little bit into that in the story, so I won't go too deep into that. But that's why Patrice kind of deals with a little bit of abandonment issues, and she is the oldest of 4 siblings total. So she does have 3 little brothers who are Ahmad, Anthony, and Antoine, all ages of 12 and under. And she's just really taking on that lead sibling role, right? Where kind of everything that she does is in question, and she's just always kind of making those bad decisions. And even though she's a pretty decent kid, she's always making some type of bad decision. Also with her, she does deal with some of the other calamities that come up with being a teenager, right? Which is, wardrobe issues. She's developing. Sex is the thing that comes up for her. Her curiosity around that. Also just, dating, just the fact that, of her getting up to that age where she wants to date, and kind of all of the issues that she has to deal with around that. She's definitely someone that I'm sure that somebody out there can relate to. Who she was inspired by? She was inspired by a mix of different Jehovah's Witness girls that I've grown up with throughout the years, and also just a mix of the different stories I've heard from different witness girls throughout the years, and just kind of just hearing about just how they had to deal with a lot of the things that Patrice has to deal with, and kind of just putting it all together in this story to be able to not only tell Patrice's story, but to tell all those stories out there who haven't necessarily had their story heard. So big shout out to Patrice. More to come on her throughout the story here. But definitely a main character, someone to really hone in on and to really root for throughout the book. I think that she's someone definitely to root for. You're gonna get mad at her a couple of times, You're gonna be wondering like, golly, girl, like, how you get yourself into this situation? You know what I mean? It's gonna be some of that going on. It's gonna be probably some situations in there where you're probably gonna look at her and say, I'm not feeling Patrice. You might say that. You might say that at some point throughout the book. But either way, Patrice, she's a very awesome character that I think that everyone will enjoy. So let me know, man. Let me know down here in the comments what you think about her, what you see her evolving into, and yeah. Until next time, folks. This has been your boy Rome Jones for the Cult Language Book Club. Keep turning those pages, and we'll see you on the next go around. Later.
The Varius